Okay, guys, continuing going, we're still in the D section. First up, a band some of you may be surprised that I have in the collection. This is Deftones with White Pony. I don't have a lot of Deftones. I used to like them a bit more than I kind of do now. I saw them live. It's been several years ago now. The entire show was a bit underwhelming. I wasn't just super impressed with them live and I think Dillinger Escape Plan opened for them, and I wasn't a big fan of Dillinger their set either. So it was just kind of I don't know, it was a very lackluster show. Next up we have Deftones with Koi no Yoken, and that is the two Deftones releases that I have in my collection. I probably won't just seek out any more of their material. It's kind of a band I think I've just kind of moved past. I don't have the desire to really listen to their material much anymore. I was really put off with that live show. Next up, this is some death metal. I believe this band is now split up. They had a pretty big album that came out, I think, late 90s, and I did not pick that one up. I don't have it, but I have the two albums that they put out after they kind of got back together, and I think they are split back up now. I believe this band's out of New York. This is Dehumanized, and this is Controlled Elite. This was released on Comatose Music. This came out in 2012, so they had a bit of a hiatus between their first album. I forgot what it was called, but it was actually a really strong album. I need to go hunt that one down. I think it came out on Pathos Productions, but for the name of the album has completely slipped my mind. But this one here, Controlled Elite's pretty good. I do dig that one quite a bit. I think I like that one a bit more than the follow up to that, which was Beyond the Mind. I haven't had this one in my possession just too terribly long. This one came out in 2016, and this was also on Comatose Music. But there we go with Dehumanized. Show that front one more time. Next up, this is a band that it took me, I was very late getting into. I'm still kind of iffy with their discography. There is some stuff that I enjoy more than others. I'll tell you kind of why I'm iffy as we get into it. But first up, we have Deicide. I always call them Deicide, but I've heard them pronounced as Deicide, so I'm not really sure. It's not good if my voice is messing up already. We just started the video. This one is Legion. I believe this is their second full length. This one is pretty good. Unfortunately, I got this in a lot with some other albums, and this only had, as you can see, I don't have the back liner. It's just the disc, and on the front insert, they ripped the page. It's just the very first page of the booklet. It's just the cover, but I have the music. I guess that's the important thing, and this is a very strong album. I do like that one. This was kind of my introduction to Deicide, and maybe this was the reason why I had such a sour taste in my mouth. I appreciated it a bit more now than I did when I first heard it, but it's still probably the weakest of the albums that I own from them. This is In Torment and Hell, and this is not, I mean, this is a bit slower, kind of more groove focused than some of their other material. I don't know. There's just something about this one that just doesn't resonate with me the way some of their other material that I've heard does. So I think this was just kind of the reason why I put off checking out more of their material. I don't know. That one just didn't do it for me. This is probably my favorite release from them. This is The Stench of Redemption. This is just kind of ferocious. I do dig this one quite a bit. I'm glad that I actually took the time to kind of dig a little bit deeper than just the In Torment and Hell album and see what else this band had to offer, because I think I would have been missing out had I not done so. I didn't pick up a ton of stuff on Black Friday this year as I did in years past. This is one, I'm pretty sure I picked this up from a Century Media Black Friday sale either last year or the year before. This is Deicide with In the Minds of Evil. This one's pretty good as well. Admittedly, I haven't spent just a ton of time with this one, but I did play it through a few times, and I did enjoy the listens that I gave it when I did give it those listens. There we go. And then the next one is a best of album. I actually got this from a radio station. They were clearing out. They had like an auction going where they were clearing out a box of radio stock. And this was just the best of Deicide. This one isn't bad to like throw in the car CD player and listen to on a commute. That way you just kind of have like some steady good material. I prefer usually like full lengths and albums that were meant to be played together, but occasionally a best of album isn't so bad. As you can see, it has like the radio ID number there written on the actual disc. I don't mind that too much. It's not like I am grabbing this for some kind of investment or resale value. It's just something that's going to be in the collection. So as long as it plays fine, I don't really mind that it has that written on the cover. Next up is a band that I was introduced to through Metalhead Box. I got this CD in Metalhead Box. It's probably been a year or two now. It's been a while ago, but this album blew me away. It's probably been 2 years ago when I got this one. This is a Dequisitor with Downfall of Apostates. Downfall of the Apostates. This is just some heavy, suffocating death metal out of Denmark. This absolutely floored me the first time that I heard it. This was released on Dark Descent Records. Usually when you see that little Dark Descent moniker down there on the bottom, you know you're in for something good. And this was a real treat when I first listened to it. I was very, very happy to find something new like this. I always love it when I find a band that I haven't heard and something like this comes out and it just resonates and you just feel it and it just changes your whole mindset upon a listen. This was one of those albums for me. Fantastic stuff there. I do have the follow-up full length. This is Towards Our Impending Doom. They had a little sale going on Dark Descent. Not too terribly. I think it was earlier this year because I also picked up I think it's the Humanoid EP. I will not show that in this video because I have all of my 2021 releases filed separately away, so they weren't on the shelf for me to pull it out. But Towards Our Impending Doom is just more of the same. Little bit better production value on this one, I would say, as opposed to the previous. But good stuff, and the EP that came out this year is very good as well. Don't know what's going on with my voice today. I apologize. Going to be a long day if the voice is already messing up, and it is just now 6 o'clock in the morning. Next up, we have some black metal. I believe this band is out of Greece, if I remember correctly. This is Daemonia with Chthonian Hymns. There we go. I probably butchered that. This band has like I imagine like a Rotting Christ fused in with Dissection. That's the best way I know how to describe this band. This is a very good release. I do enjoy this. This came out on Old Temple Records. It's been out a little while now. I believe this is the only full length that this project has put out. I say project because it is a one-man band. But I do like this. I haven't listened to it in a while. I think it came out around 2015, 2016, but it is a stellar release. I need to get this one back in the rotation. It's getting about that time of the year where black metal is going to start taking a bit more precedence as the seasons change and it starts getting a little colder. Next up, we have some black metal out of France. This is a band called Terre. This is an EP entitled Per Espera Ad Pestilentium. Yeah. This one isn't bad. The vocals, I don't know. I could give, I could take or leave the vocals. Sometimes they are a bit too abrasive for the soundscapes that the band is putting out. I feel, I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like a good vocal match musically. But At times it does work. Not a bad EP. Musically, this is a fantastic EP. It's just sometimes for me the vocals on that are a little off-putting. Next up, we have the first album I'm going to show of theirs is more thrash oriented. The second one is a bit more like thrash and death fusion. This is a band off Metal Blade Records. This is Demiracus, and this is their first album entitled One, and then Hellbound is the actual title. It's One and then Hellbound in parentheses. This is like pure Slayer worship. Not a whole lot of originality going on this first album. It can get a bit monotonous. I mean, it's got some good riffage and stuff going on within the album. It's just there's not a whole lot of originality for me on that release. The second release I do like a bit more. This one is Demiracus, and this is Poverty, two with Poverty in parentheses, and they kind of leaned a bit more to the death metal spectrum on this release, and I think it definitely benefited the band. It kind of worked in their favor. They were able to incorporate some of their own ideas as opposed to just kind of being a copy paste Slayer classic thrash sound. So this one's not too bad. This one has definitely gotten a bit more playtime than the first album. I can say that without any type of trepidation whatsoever. Next up, we have a kind of melodic blackened death metal band out of Poland. This is Demise with Torture Garden. This was released on Crash Music back in 2006. When I first heard this, I really enjoyed it. Upon like going back and revisiting it now, I gave this a spin not too terribly long ago. It felt like there was more filler material on the album as opposed to actual just memorable material. I don't know if it's just back when I heard it before things were still kind of feeling fresh and new and everything was exciting to me. Now I hate to do it because you kind of get in like this snobby mindset. Everybody does it, just where you look down on things whether you want to or not. And I don't know, just something didn't just felt off, I guess, when I listened to it in recent listens anyway. Next up, this is a death metal band out of Italy. They are on Everlasting Spew Records. This is, I'm going to butcher it, Demiurgon with the Oblivious Lure. This is pretty good death metal. Has little tiny hints of technicality going on through this. Almost has this kind of blackened feel going on at times, not over the top, just these little blackened undertones here and there. The production value on this is very great, just kind of astonishing production on this. I can definitely appreciate the mix that they did on this album. So good stuff there from Everlasting Spew. Next up, this is a band that I've tried very hard to get into. I have 2 albums from them, and it's another band. For some reason, they've never really just clicked. I've heard people kind of sing the praises of this band throughout the duration of their lifespan, and I think it's more they are a Christian metal band, and I think it's more people trying to find a band within that realm that if they have any type of success, they get a little bit higher touted than probably they deserve. But I don't know. That's just my one moron here on YouTube's mindset and opinion. This is I went completely blank. Demon Hunter with their self-titled. I think this is their second full length. It may be their first. I don't remember. I got this on the clearance rack for $1, and honestly, I probably should have just left it on that clearance rack rather than spending that $1. I cannot get into this. I don't know what it is. On paper, I should love this, but I mean, it's kind of got that metalcore-ish, hardcore vibe going. But I don't know. It just for some reason, just Demon Hunter and I just don't click. And then I picked up something later on in their discography to try to maybe see if something had changed. I liked it. This is Extremist, and it just I don't know. I can't. I'm at the point where I'm not gonna. I have too much other stuff to listen to and enjoy. I'm not gonna try to force myself into enjoying something that's just not clicking for me. And I don't know. At some point I will probably rehome these. If someone likes Demon Hunter and you don't have these and you're watching this video, kind of reach out to me. I probably could just send those your way and have them somewhere that they will be appreciated. Next up, we have some black metal out of the U.S. This is a Demon Sea with Enthroned is the Night. Pretty solid black metal release here. I'm not going to take it out of. It looks like a digi from where you're looking, but it's actually a slipcase, and it has the disc and everything just kind of stuffed in there. I hate the presentation on this release, but the album itself is not bad. Um, I don't. I don't even remember. Forever Plagued Records is the label that put this out. I don't really know them. If this is the presentation they put out on their physical releases, there's probably a reason why I don't know them, because I was not impressed with the little sleeve at all. Next up, we have some death metal. Believe this band is out of Chile. Could be wrong. This was released on Old Temple Records. This is Demonic Rage with Omen of Doom. This is a compilation. It has all types of stuff. There's 20 tracks on this compilation. You've got some EP demo materials. You've got some cover songs, a little bit of everything. It's a pretty strong compilation and makes me want to check out more from this band. I have not done so. I always tell myself when I revisit this comp that I'm going to check out some of their other material, and I have not done so. At this point, I'm sure they have at least a full length or two under their belt. This has been out for quite some time, so maybe this will be my reason to go check out Demonic Rage and see what else they have out there to offer. Next up, we have a kind of progressive blackened death metal band. Has some symphonic elements. They are out of India. This is Demonic Resurrection with The Return to Darkness. At one point, I was in a group on Facebook, like a metal kind of sharing group. This has been many years ago now, probably getting close to 10 years. 10 years ago, that one of the mods I think was in this band and was always sharing their stuff. So I went ahead and picked up a couple of their albums. Not bad. The production values on this are quite good. Everything kind of stands out in the mix. It has I believe like some keyboards and stuff going on, some symphonics. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I do remember enjoying it for what it was. And then I also picked up Demonic Resurrection with the Demon King. Of the two that I own, I think this one was my favorite. I spend this one a little bit more, well, I guess considerably more than I did the Return to Darkness. But good stuff here out of India. Sorry if it feels like I'm rushing this one a little bit. I do have to go to work as soon as I get done recording this video. Very fun, right? And the last three albums are all from the same band. This is Dehumanized, and it's kind of nice here because I have like a solid step-by-step progression of this band. This is Rites of Barbaric Demons. This is a early demo. I don't see the date on this, but I'm wanting to say around 2011-ish is when this one came out. I could be absolutely getting completely wrong. Very raw sound to this one. It's just sulfurous, blackened death metal. And the production value gets better with each release. Like you can feel it with each coming release, how much better and how far this band progresses. This is actually, I mean, this is good for what it is. I really dig this little EP. Next up, we have the full length entitled Throne of Demonic Proselytism. Yeah, sorry. This one is good. I did dig this one as well. This was released on Nuclear War Now. This was the debut full length, and the production value on this was a step up from that Rites of Barbaric Demons demo EP material. This was a step up from that one. This one kind of melted my face a little bit when I heard it, and it should have prepped me for the next full length, and it didn't. It didn't adequately prep me the way that it may have should have, because when I heard this one, I was just completely bludgeoned, stomped into the ground, and left rotting and left for dead there. This is Mono Miseri with Poisoned Atonement. Sulfurous, nasty, blackened, suffocating death metal. This is fantastic stuff. If you haven't checked this one out, I highly, highly suggest you do so. Just know that it will bludgeon you completely to death. This one was released on Invictus Productions. I'm pretty sure this one was on the end of the year list for the year that it came out. It's been out a few years now, but I'm pretty positive even then that it was on that album of the year list that I did, and it's just kind of grown on me since then. It's just one of those just evil, sulfurous, just suffocating blackened death metal. Fantastic stuff there. The fish just splashed me, so that means it's time to wrap this one up. I will try to keep the momentum going, hopefully, and get another one of these cranked out this week as well. Stay classy, stay metal, and I will see you guys soon, I promise.